All right. Hey guys, happy Friday. Are we ready for the weekend? How are you doing today, guys? I'm Lynn Clementi, host of whatever the show is called, currently Baby Talk with Lynn. Who knows, name could change someday. But for now, it's Baby Talk. Thanks for joining me today. I'm going to kick off, take this music down here a little bit. Hopefully the microphone issue is resolved. You guys can hear me crystal clear today. But if there are any issues with the audio, please let me know. I want this show to be top notch, and with your help, I can make sure it is. Okay, so I am planning on this being a little bit shorter of a show today. And the reason being is I've got a lot going on. Let's take this over here and just make sure we're getting good with our comments. Hi, Mom. And I assume Dad's watching too. We got Kelly watching out there. Hi. Though I think Kelly's actually watching while she works out, which is great. We were just chatting right before all this. So, guys, today I am going to talk about my very real feelings that I've got going on right now. I know that maybe you're thinking, who cares, Lynn? You just want to talk about yourself. But I think that I'm capturing feelings of a very important time if you're going through a fertility journey that hopefully you will experience at some time. And if you've already gone through this, maybe you can relate to it and, hey, have a little bit of a flashback. Oh, this is fun. Hey, Lauren, thanks for stopping by. Hi. Guys, I am in the final hours of my 2-week wait right now. And what that means is tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. we have an appointment at the fertility clinic where they will do a blood draw to confirm whether or not we are pregnant based on the levels in the blood, which is, I guess, more accurate than a urine test. I was texting with Kelly yesterday, my best friend, and I am just like dying here. I'm like, I just want to know, and I don't know what the procedure is with like the blood test. How long do we wait after the blood test? Like, are they going to call us? Is this going to be like, do we wait a few hours or a day? I don't know. I just don't know. But it's killing me. And I really just want to take a pregnancy test and find out. But I do know the very real possibility of a false negative, of a false positive. So I don't want to add to the stress and be wondering if that P test is real or not. So give you a little bit of the stats of what's going on here. Yeah, Kelly, thank you. This is very exciting. Exactly. The 2-week wait is, for me right now, is very specifically timed to the IUI procedure that we had 2 weeks ago, which was on a Saturday morning. So that procedure, hold on, I have my dates here in my little notebook. See, I keep it all written down. And I don't know if you're noticing, if you didn't catch it the other day, it's cold down here in my studio. I know I'm jumping around a little bit. The temperature in this room is probably like 2 degrees. I don't know. It's really, really freaking cold. I already have bad like finger circulation or whatever as it is. So I appreciate my dad's like, I'll come over and work on the heating or whatever. And then I was so cold and shivering the other day, Bert's like, Lynn, I got you a Valentine's Day gift, but I want to give it to you now. And it was these cute little gloves. Look how cute these are. He got them from someone on Etsy and they're like hand knit, and I absolutely love them. They're super, super cute. So they actually have been working, and good news, I have ordered a space heater for this room. So hopefully next week you won't see me shivering anymore. Okay, so here we go. My IUI procedure was on January 30th, and that was day 16 of my cycle. I normally have a 27 or 28 day cycle. Today is 29. The last time I had a 29-day cycle, though, was about 4 months ago. So it wouldn't be completely odd or unexpected to get my period today. So the very real feeling that I'm having is total anxiety every time I go to the bathroom. Am I going to, sorry guys, but women, that wipe that where you first, see the little spot of blood. So every time I go to the bathroom, I have to kind of like psych myself up and be like, okay, if it happens, we're going to be fine. It's going to be okay. We're just going to take it easy the rest of the day and, process these feelings, maybe cry a little bit. And that's okay too. Crying is okay. So, every time I, have that relief, of not seeing any blood, I'm like, oh, Okay, we're okay. Keep on moving. So that was all day yesterday that I was feeling that, because that was the day I was expecting my period on a normal cycle. The day before that, I was like also very like, okay, am I going to make it? So it's what, a little after 1 o'clock on Friday. My test is at 8 a.m. tomorrow. I think I can make it all the way through without doing a urine pregnancy test. Yeah. Oh my gosh, Bert. Ecobee says it's 68 in the studio. Where is it getting that temperature from? Because it's not right here in front of me, I swear. It's not 68 degrees in here. I think I see the little temperature thing up there. I don't know what it's... The air actually warmer up here? I don't know. Maybe the heat rises. It is a few feet above me, Bert. So maybe I'll move the Ecobee down and that'll change things. I'm going to do it right now. Bert, what's the Ecobee say that it is in the actual studio? I'd like to know that. Does it say -20? Because that's what it feels like. It's now on my desk, so game on. All right. So, the other part of this is I keep trying to, like, you know, with the unknown of how we're going to find out if that's going to be a phone call or if that actually happens like very quickly just on site tomorrow. I don't know. I think I might call them today and find out. Because I've, you know, had this, like, now that I'm doing this show and I'm, you know, tracking all this for everybody to share my experience. I'm like, so I kind of want to capture that reaction when we find out, you know, on camera. It's very vulnerable and it's kind of distracting, but I think if I can figure out a way to do it so that it's like just kind of rolling and then we find out and then it's not something I'm like fuddling with as I find out, then I think it's okay. So I think I'm going to call over to the clinic today or write them an email and find out what that whole process is like. So I don't know. What was your process like? I think Kelly, they called you for yours, Lauren. How soon after you took the blood test did you get that call? Was it same day or a few hours later? Because normally they do the blood work in the morning at my facility, and then they call between 12 and 2 is when they do all their calls. So I wonder, yeah, okay, it was not instant. Okay. Yeah, I didn't think it would be, but who knows, you know. Okay, so I think it'll probably be a phone call. I have a feeling that's what it's going to be. Yeah, Kelly, and then Kelly did this. She took a urine pregnancy test the day before. And that's, so Bert and I have been talking about that, is like, do we do the pregnancy test, you know, right before we go and get it like confirmed and like, you know, have that whole moment? Because I've always like, you know, I've taken the urine test before when I've been like a day late and like really excited. You know, that disappointment of not seeing the 2 lines, you know, I've had that multiple times. And I just like have this little dream. I just want to see those 2 lines. I really do. So you know what? I don't know. Bert, I think that we should do the test right before, the urine test right before we go for the blood test. I don't know. We do have an exciting day planned tomorrow just in case, you know, we are either celebrating or we are commiserating. Bert's actually making us a homemade lasagna, which I'm really excited about. So that's like our little Valentine's Day dinner. It's going to be super cute. Very excited about that. Quick question. So like I have not been drinking for, I couldn't tell you the last time I had alcohol. I think it was New Year's Eve was the last time I had a drink. Just curious, guys. If I wanted to celebrate with a single glass of wine for Valentine's Day and everything, is that really... How unacceptable is that? Just be real with me. If that's like, don't you frickin' want to, or don't you frickin' do it, then just tell me that. Like, that's fine. I can hear it. Bert, all right. Bert's on board with this. Maybe we'll do that pregnancy test before we go. We'll record it. We won't do it live. And then that way, if it actually is real, we can capture those emotions and then we'll show it on one of the videos later on. Because I think that'll be pretty magical. I've seen other people's videos of those. They always make me cry. So I'm all about making people cry in a happy way. Thank you. All right. We got to vote for it's fine to have a glass of wine to celebrate. I know Bert's dying to have a glass of wine too, or a beer. So yeah, I think that's totally fine. Yeah. I hear this more and more too. People have sips or have a drink once in a while pregnant too. I hear that a lot more. Same thing with the caffeine. I think that's kind of been not as like frowned upon as it used to be. Okay, you guys are the best. Thank you. You're getting me through this. Kelly's gotten me through this with quite a few text messages over the past few days. So Kelly, I love you. Thank you so much. And then actually a lot of people, a few people have been reaching out and, wishing us well. And, especially because we announced it and I've been like putting it out there that the test is this weekend too. So it is nice sharing and having those warm wishes and thoughts come your way. I know that's not for everybody, but I'm glad that we're doing it. Okay. So what other real feelings? I keep wondering, I'm like, can I predict how I'm going to feel? I can't, of course. I've had fantasies of, there was the one time that I really thought I was pregnant when we were trying naturally, and I had absolute joy and butterflies and like all these feelings I had never had before. And I have a feeling like I'll have those feelings, but I can't like imagine them right now. I can't like, synthetically have them right now. And I keep wanting to like, imagine what's going to happen. Like I can't just seem to go with the flow at the moment. But that's me. And that's my take on it. It's like, I just want to know. I'm full of excitement. I'm scared. I am very scared of like, if it's a no, if it's a negative, how hard that's going to be. And I think that having that meal to look forward to tomorrow night is really going to help me get through, and knowing that Bert's here and knowing that I've got the support of people that I've already told, that's going to make me feel better too. And I think Kelly made that point a while ago was, having other people know, so when things go bad, they're there to support you and understand and not be like, what do you mean you're trying to get pregnant? I had no idea. Or what do you mean you're pregnant? Yeah. Butterflies, me? Yeah. I feel them. They're inside me. See, this is why they're so scary. Feeling those butterflies are petrifying. So I associate butterflies with fear, Anyway, those are my feelings. And the last, the last 48 hours of the 2-week wait is the most like agonizing. It's like the toughest part. So the whole other, 12 days of this have been very hopeful, very optimistic, even though the odds are extremely low of it happening. And I wanted to actually make today's episode also to include odds and why they tell you it's only a 10% chance for IUI. And in my case, it was even lower based on Bert's semen analysis. We had a single digit, I think it was something like 7% chance of getting pregnant on IUI. And that's really like, I don't understand what that percent means. Does that mean you have to try, I don't know. I don't know the math on this. Does that just mean like 8% of the people with my situation, my age, and those, whatever, get pregnant? Like, I just feel like it's too low. If I'm actually pregnant, I am not that lucky, guys. I never win raffles, ever. Like, I don't win the lottery. I don't win those kinds of things. Like, why would I be so lucky to make this happen? So I've got to think that those numbers mean there's got to be more to play with those numbers. So I'm going to dive into it because I'm super nerdy. I like analyzing numbers and spreadsheets and stuff like that. So I'm going to get to the bottom of this and report back to you. We're going to have a whole episode on odds and chances of getting pregnant and how to understand them and maybe how to increase them. How do you guys like that idea for a show? Okay, I've been talking about my feelings for about 13 minutes straight. Let's jump to the other part, because I told you guys this will probably be a shorter episode than usual. The difference between IUI and IVF. And I think most of the people that I see responding and commenting right now, let's see what we got here. I guess there might be a few other people watching that haven't commented yet. Guys, if you're watching, please say hi. Let me know that you're out there. I am... I know that we're getting a lot of people rewatching these later on, and if you're rewatching later, please too, just drop a note in the comments, say hi or replay or nice show, Lynn, or cute gloves. That's fine. It lets me know that you're watching, and it makes me feel good that the people are paying attention. But this will be probably the section that people might come back and rewatch later, or find this video by searching. The difference between IUI and IVF, which I forgot that I didn't know this. You don't know something until you learn it. And why I want to cover this is because some of the people I've been talking to that have opened up to me about their struggles with fertility haven't even started exploring this yet. And that there might be some confusion about what their options are. it seems like IVF is a very common, like people know it, you know, the term IVF. I don't think I knew the term IVF a long time ago, but I don't think I knew the term IUI until Kelly went through it. And even then, when she was going through it, I didn't know the difference. So I'm going to dive into this a little bit from just regular everyday words to you, so that it's not going to be like the medical WebMD version of this. So here's the difference between IUI and IVF. Okay, IUI is going to be a much less invasive cycle, and usually it just takes one cycle to do it. Meaning, like with IVF, you have to start prepping a cycle in advance. So our IVF cycle, if IUI doesn't work for us, is scheduled for, I believe, to actually be the procedure in April, but we start the medications and everything in the cycle in March. Okay. Now, IUI, let's just focus on that one first, is intrauterine insemination. So, simple terms, they're going to take the semen sample from your partner or from a donor, put it into a catheter, and instead of it just going, when you normally have, you know, sex, it's going into the vaginal cavity and then swimming through into the uterus. Did you like that motion? I don't know. But with IUI, what they're doing is taking that catheter and they're putting that straw up straight into the uterus, helping those sperm get to where they need to be, and also timing it so that it's going exactly when that egg is supposed to be released. There's a few extra things they can do in the IUI procedure, and you'll talk about this if you decide to do it with your doctor, and they're going to do some tests to find out what, you know, if there's anything else that's going to make it harder for you to do this. And you know, they might recommend that you go straight to IVF. And frankly, they did recommend that our chances are better with IVF just to go straight to it. But I had said, let's, you know, insurance is covering it for me anyway, and I really would like it to work. So oftentimes people will schedule an IUI while they're waiting to do IVF, and it works sometimes. So with my cycle, my IUI cycle, it can be medicated or unmedicated. And unmedicated might be for a very healthy person, perhaps like a lesbian couple that, you know, they don't have any reason, they don't really have any reason to know that they're going to have problems with it. So they might do an unmedicated thing and just do it with the natural timing of their cycle. And then there's, you know, a trigger shot that you take right before they do the procedure, just to get the eggs to release at a perfect time to meet those sperm. Now, I did a medicated one, and what the medicated one did, and I was on Clomid for 5 days, and that was cycle day 4 through 8, and that grew my follicles. So in your normal cycle, usually there's going to be one dominant follicle, and there's going to be one egg, and that's released, and that's what you're hoping the sperm will swim up and meet. And a lot of things have to go right in order for it to happen naturally. Like, to me, it just blows my mind that people can get pregnant naturally. And I know it shouldn't, but so many things have to go right with timing. It's incredible. So for mine, what they want to do is increase my chances. So what they did is they grew a few of my follicles, and I had four on the left and one on the right that were of decent size. I'm actually really scared of having twins right now. But hopefully I'm not, you know, with all the struggles that we've had, I'm just hoping, let's hope one. Okay. So, IUI also could have, there's other things, other medications that they might put you on. And I'm sorry, I don't know all of them, but like I said, based on your circumstance and your partner and everything like that, that's something that they're going to personalize for you. Now, during an IUI cycle, because they need to get the timing just right, and they're waiting for those follicles to grow, you know, they're looking for something, I was told, you know, between 15 and 20 mm. And they're looking for the lining of your uterus to be around 7 mm. And these things have to happen, you know, just right. And then the way they measure that, and also that has to go along with the estrogen levels in your blood. So when you start an IUI cycle, they'll do a baseline test to find out where you're at, and then they're going to have you come back maybe 5, 6, 7 days later to do your next appointment, where they're going to do another blood draw and an ultrasound. And they'll do this on every visit that you have. So that could just be a couple of visits until they see the numbers that they want. Or in my case, I had the baseline plus 4 more appointments and then the procedure itself. So I actually went in 6 times just for the IUI procedure, the whole IUI process, I should say. I am actually, and I'm putting all this into a video edited, because I actually took footage from the visits that I had and also the procedure itself, which the procedure itself took like 7 minutes total, like total. Like I was in the room longer than that procedure happened. It happens when you're fully awake, you barely feel anything. It's nothing worse. Actually, I thought it was easier than a pap smear, to be honest. And Bert got to be in the room, and I've heard that that's actually common practice, that the husband gets to be there while technically you're conceiving your child. Or your wife. I shouldn't, with IUI, it's a very popular option for for lesbian couples as well. So IVF, let's talk about that now. Why IVF? IVF's chances of getting pregnant are higher because what they actually do is pull the eggs out of you, get that sperm sample, and then mate those two, make sure that they actually fertilize the egg, and that takes a few days. And if it gets to the right size and if it actually works, then they put that back into your uterus, and hope that it implants into the lining. Okay. The benefits of IVF are you can actually do genetic testing on the egg and the sperm to make sure that everything looks very healthy. That's called PGS, and that's recommended a lot with like older couples, or maybe couples that have could have genetic issues. And we did genetic testing, Bert and I did, and found that we aren't the same carriers for anything. So our chances, I think, are good of having a healthy egg, a healthy baby. Of course, tons of other things can go wrong, but it is one thing that can give you peace of mind. How are we doing here? I actually haven't been peeking at the comments. I've been so in my own world here. How are you guys doing? Oh, here we go. Yeah. Let's check in on what people are saying here. This is great. Oh yeah, Kelly and I were talking about this. So the chances of IUI are so low because there's such a huge sample size. And that, yeah, I think a lot of people go into this. I don't know this for sure. And I really, I haven't, it's not like anyone's opened up to me and be like, oh yeah, I'm just counting on IUI to work for us. I don't think that we can do it, But I have a feeling that people aren't putting in the same amount of research that like I did, figuring out which nutrients to take and, diet and everything like that, exercise. And the fact that Bert is also doing it. And I think a lot of people assume that it's all on the female to be healthy and not, consider the men and how healthy their sperm are. They have to have good, not just motility, morphology, and, the sperm count, but those have to be healthy sperm in general. So that takes that whole, to flush out the bad ones can take up to, 6 months. And I don't think people realize that. And I think that's why we are, why we are, I think that ours is going to stick is because it's actually been 6 months since we made some of those bigger, life changes or health changes. IVF, here's another thing. Kelly is pointing out IVF can be frozen. So what some women will do, and they can do with IVF, they can actually do it so that you're actually growing. You know how I said I had like 4 follicles and there's hopefully, 1 egg in each? With IVF and all the medications, you're doing injections daily for a certain amount of time. And what that's doing is actually building up your body to release multiple eggs or to grow multiple eggs. And what I've heard, and I haven't had that, is they start to grow, they said as big as grapes. And I can't imagine, some people are, they retrieve something like, 20 of these, some of them's 27, some of them only 6, whatever. But just imagine like a sack of grapes down there in your ovaries. Like that feels so uncomfortable, so much pressure. But what they do is they pull those out, and then they might not use all of them that time, but what they can do is freeze them so that if that current IVF cycle doesn't work, then they can actually try again with the healthy eggs from there on the next cycle. yes, so that is another option when you're doing that. So it's like multiple cycles worth there. Now the IVF procedure itself, when they suck out those eggs, it's a long, sharp instrument, you know, like a straw again, but not a catheter, and it goes up through your uterus and through, like literally through the lining of your uterus over to your ovaries, and you're put under for this because it's a very painful thing, and they suck out like one at a time all the little eggs. It's really cool to see under a microscope. They've got videos of it online. And that's how they pull all the little eggs out of you, and then you wake up and you know nothing's inside you at that point. You just have to wait a few days while they do the science in the lab with the sperm and the eggs, and then you go back in, and then they put them straight into your uterus. And let me know, Lauren, I know you did IVF. Let me know if I'm wrong on any of that or didn't state it quite right, but I think that this is this might help people understand the difference between the two, which was the goal I was going for. As far as cost go, IUI is a lot less expensive than IVF. When we scheduled our IVF and we decided to do IUI first, they said because there's like a lot of planning that has to go into an IVF cycle, that if we did get lucky with our IUI, there would actually be a $400 cancellation fee if we got pregnant on IUI and had to cancel our IVF. But I'm like, hey, worth the cost. That's totally fine. You could, of course, do your IUIs first, and then if they don't work, then schedule your IVF. Just kind of depends on your own timing and how eager you are, and where you are, with your age and everything like that. Yeah, so let me know if you have questions on these. I love these comments. Just keep swimming, swimming, swimming. Yes, get those little spermies up there. Please kiss the eggs. Bert, do not get excited about the twins. Just because you're from Minnesota does not mean you should be cheering for them. Oh my God. We do not. I actually I have never put those two things together. I swear to God, if we have twins because you're from Minnesota and the Minnesota Twins, I do not like the coincidence of that at all. Oh my God. Costs. Oh my God, Bert. You're really funny today. He's been killing it with the dad jokes lately. I don't know that Costco does fertility treatments, but I don't think so. I think you might. That is something I do know. Is that when you do your medications, this is something that they'll have you order the medications for. And on my sheet, as far as I can tell, there are 6 different places that they'll have you order from. It's not like you just go to your local Walgreens or CVS and pick them up. Though I think I did pick up Clomid at the pharmacy. Oh my God. Enough with the twins, guys. Seriously. All right, Bert, I want to hear the names you have picked out. I'm going to see. If you've got them, if you want to share them, I'm willing to hear them. Dad jokes are awesome. I can't remember. What was the one, Bert, you had this morning? I think you had one. It was a real groaner. And my mom sends me dad jokes every morning via email, which I love a lot. The one she sent the other day was, why do cows wear bells? And Bert saw it and he's like, wait, why do cows wear bells? And then I clicked on it, and it's because their horns don't work. I gotta work on the delivery. If you're watching this, please don't judge my comedy moment here. Okay. All right, guys. I think I'm going to wrap this up. This went a lot longer than I thought it would, but I do hope that it was helpful for you. If you are planning on, if you haven't gone to see a fertility specialist yet, and that is the next step for you, if you've been trying, so if you are under 35 and you've been trying for over a year, that's the point where you want to go. If you're 35 and older, and you've been trying for 6 months without any luck, that's your sign that you should talk to someone. And just know that once you do go and talk to a specialist, it's not going to happen right away where they just oh yeah, no problem, we'll just do IUI tomorrow. This takes planning. There's a lot of testing that goes into it. You'll start by having a consultation with your doctor, and they will explain to you the things that I explain to you, but probably more with medical terms, and, you know, sit down and answer your specific questions. They're going to have you do blood tests for him and her. They're going to have the semen analysis. They're going to do possibly a ultrasound and a fem view, I think they're called. So they'll look at your uterus. They'll look for any scarring. They're going to look for polyps. And then they're also going to look to see if your fallopian tubes are blocked or not, because that could be a factor in your fertility. They're going to ask you questions about your health. How often do you work out? What are you eating? Do you drink? Do you smoke? Those kinds of things. And they're probably going to suggest that if you do, you know, not eat healthy, or if you don't exercise, you know, if you drink or smoke, any of those things, they're going to suggest that you start to live a healthier lifestyle. But let me tell you something. That's something that you need to do in steps. If you do it all at once, your body's going to go into shock. You're going to get stressed out. And stress is, in my opinion, the number one thing that's going to, well, not number one. There's going to be other medical issues that are probably number one. But stress is a huge factor, guys, in making it work for you. So you do need to, you know that this is something that takes time, even when you do go to the specialist. So we went in, I think, October or November, and we didn't do the actual IUI procedure itself until January 30th. And today is February 12th, and tomorrow we will find out if we are pregnant. All right, guys, that's my show for today. Thank you so much. Oh, I got so these twin names from Bert. Let's see what we got here. So Herman Killebrew and Joe Maurer. I see. So Herman and Joe, but I guess we can't name our kid Joe because we already have Joe. Joseph is our cat. So yes, it would be very confusing if we had a daughter named Joe and a cat named Joe. And also, I don't know any girls named Herman. Assuming that we're having twin girls. I don't know. Anyway, keep working on it, Bert. Names are not approved, sorry. Okay, guys. I appreciate you watching today. I appreciate you guys. And please, baby dust to you. And, you know, feel free to comment and say hi. Please do like this video and subscribe if you haven't to the channel. We're growing, and this is the end of our 3rd week of live streaming. So we're still going strong. And I can't wait next week to hopefully bring on some more guests to share more knowledge with you guys. All right. Have a great weekend, guys.